in the room. In the room. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in the room. How y'all doing this morning? Double tap on that screen as you are coming into the room. Y'all know what time it is already, right? It's Fiery Friday where we get it in over here every single Monday through Friday, right? We have our Mondays. Hey, listen, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. and sometime around 8:10, depending on what time we get out of our devotion every single morning that we've started since September. Good morning, Grand Rising, Rich Rising to each and every one of you guys. I just want to tell y'all first and foremost, if you were able to wake up this morning, if you are amongst the living on today, if you got breath in your body, activities of your limbs on this beautiful day, I need you to do me a favor real quick. I want you to double tap on that screen. Double tap on that screen. Send me some love. If you are up this morning and you say, Coach, you know what? I'm happy to be here. Understand, I'm happy to have activities of my limbs, be clothed in my right mind, having my energy on this morning. I know it's somebody that wanted that was not afforded that opportunity. So for that alone, I wake up and I'm grateful. For that alone, I wake up, and God knows that right now my mind, I can't even drink my water. My energy is like, yes. You know how you wake up and you just like, yes. Come on, Benny Simpson. I appreciate you on this morning. 200 stars, a starting goal. Let's go. Double tap on that screen. I need to get some badges over on IG. Double tap on that screen. TikTok, get us up to 10K on this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This week we've been talking about what? The season of resistance. The season of resistance have been our topic of discussion this morning. We've been talking about the more that you're continuing to grow and to evolve and transition into the man or the woman that you're creating, how the adversary is going to be continuously coming at you, continuously trying to distract you, continuously coming at you, trying to bring up different things to get you to go, to do what? To throw away your mission. To throw away your mission. That's his job. His job is to distract you. His job is to pull you off course. His job is to frustrate you, to agitate you, to annoy you, to make you feel as though what you're doing is not working. His job is to make you feel like all the work that you putting in, like, that ain't working. You doing all of that for nothing. That's never going to be what you want it to be. That's his job. His job is to deceive you, to finesse you, to bamboozle you, to hoodwink you up out of alignment. Understand that. So for everybody this morning, if you woke up this morning and you feel like, you know what, I just feel like giving up. You woke up this morning and you feel like I'm just frustrated. I'm aggravated with life and I don't feel like I can go on anymore. I want to say this to you this morning. The devil is a liar. Understand me. That's exactly what he wants you to do. If you weren't going to be able to make it through the day, you wouldn't have woke up today. Understand me. If you didn't have what it took to be able to make it through that situation, you wouldn't be in that situation. And I feel secure in being able to say that, because if God brings you to a thing, he will most definitely bring you through a thing. Hello, somebody. What you say, Coach? If he brings you to it, he's going to bring you through it. And all you got to do is trust and believe. Don't you dare give up on yourself. Don't you dare throw in the towel on yourself. Don't you dare put in all of this hard work, all this effort, all this energy, all this prayer, all this fasting, all this worshiping, all this studying, all this thing that you've been doing for your growth and development, and just throw it away just simply because things are not going the way that you want them to go right now. Baby, don't you know there's always tomorrow? Don't you know that there's always tomorrow? It might not be doing what you wanted to do right now today. And that's okay. It's okay not to have a good day. It's okay to all of it. Like, Coach, you know what? I'm just not having it today. That's okay. But you don't allow that one day to do what? Turn into bad days with an S. To turn into bad weeks. To turn into bad months. To turn into bad years or bad decades. It's okay. You have to go through emotions. You are human. Everything is not going to always go the way you want it to go. Everything will always be what you want it to be. You're going to have some hiccups. You're going to have some stuff that's going to happen, some unexpected blows, some inconsistencies. This is life, and we know this already. These things are going to happen, but guess what? These things will pass. Baby, you ain't gonna hurt like how you hurt now. You're not gonna hurt that way always. Can I just tell you that? Baby, you're not gonna hurt like how you hurt right now. You ain't gonna hurt that way always. The tears that you've been crying, you won't cry those tears like that always. Good morning, I Raleigh 93. How you doing this morning? You won't cry like that always. Your greater is later. Understand me. You're gonna be just fine. Stay focused. Stay locked in. The enemy wants to distract you. The enemy wants your attention. The enemy wants you to feel defeated. The enemy wants you to feel like you can't go on. The enemy wants you to feel like you're not good enough. The enemy wants you to feel like you're not capable, like you're not able. But I promise you, as long as you got breath in your body on this morning, you have every single thing in you that you need to be able to conquer this day. Sometimes it will get frustrating. Sometimes you will be agitated. You will be annoyed. Sometimes you will get to that place where you're like, Coach, I'm doing all the right things. I'm showing up like how I'm supposed to show up. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And my heart's still heavy. I'm doing this and I'm doing that, Coach. And my mind's still cloudy. I'm doing this and I'm doing that, Coach. And it just seemed like the enemy won't let up on me. You know why he won't let up on you? Because you a threat, baby. Understand me. The enemy knows a threat when he sees one. And when you are that type of person that's housing that type of potential, understand me, that's holding that type of grit, that type of grind, understand the enemy knows if I turn them loose, I know what they're going to transform into. If I back up off of them, I already know they're going to be a powerhouse. If I step out of the way, if I let up in any kind of way, that person right there, that person is going to bring breakthrough, not just for themselves. They're going to bring breakthrough for their family. They're going to bring breakthrough for their community. They're going to bring breakthrough from everybody that's connected to them. That person right there, that's the door right there. You don't even understand. Some of y'all trying to figure out why you being fought the way that you being fought. You're trying to figure out why the enemy is going so hard on you, baby. You are a portal. Yeah. It's going to be some people that ain't going to like that part right now. Kira, hold me down. Hold me. I'm going to need somebody to hold me down. Crystal Love, hold me down. Hold me down. Hold me down. That right there, that was too deep for some folk. They going to be like, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, some people don't like to say that right there. Oh, come on. Yeah. Chosen family, y'all going to have to protect me on that one. Yeah. Some folk don't realize that you are a portal, baby. Yeah, everybody coming through you. Understand me. Everybody about to come through you. Do you hear me? Everybody about to come through you. And that's the reason why they done labeled you the black sheep. That's the reason why they already labeled you the outcast. That's the reason why they go outside their way to fight against you on every hand. That's the reason why everybody want to stop your growth, stop your development. Come on, I Raleigh. Let's be real. That's the reason why people want to shut you out. That's the reason why they want to block you. That's the reason why they want to discredit you. Understand, they want to slander you. They want to belittle you. They want to make folk not be connected to you. That's the reason why they go outside their way to lie on you and try to make you look bad to everybody, because they already know, oh baby, I'm the portal. Understand me, when I go through it, everybody know that they're gonna come through it. When I do it, everybody know that they're gonna be able to do it. So they try to stop you. Understand me, this is why Coach telling you, you cannot afford to break down right now. You can't afford to give up right now. You can't afford to throw in the towel right now. All eyes are on you. Do you hear me? This right here, this ain't just for you. This for everybody. Understand me, that's connected to you. This is for everybody that's watching. Understand me. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to watch me win. He said, what presence of my enemies? I'm about to show my enemies exactly how good God really is. I'm about to show my enemies exactly what God is doing in my life. I'm about to show my enemies exactly what it looks like when you be in alliance with the Most High God, when you be locked into the Most High God. You have to know this, right? So yes, you might be weary. You might be tired. Understand, you might be frustrated. You might be agitated. You might be annoyed. All of those things, but count it all joy. Yeah. Come on. We just say, Coach, count it all joy. Count it all joy. I know while I'm going through what I'm going through, I count it all joy. I know, it might seem strange to other folks and y'all trying to figure out while I'm okay with what it is that I'm going through, but baby, I'm gonna count it all joy. Double tap on my screen, put it in the chat real quick. Count it all joy. I count it all joy. Coach, I count it all joy. Go ahead, come on, speak it over your life. I count it all joy, even though I might be going through the worst time ever. Understand me, even with a face full of tears, I still count it all joy. I count it all joy. Understand me, because this too shall pass. It's not going to hurt like this always. It's not going to be like this always. I'm not going to be down like this always. I'm not going to have to press the way that I'm pressing always. Understand me, once I get to where I need to be in Christ, I know that there's going to be a place where I can rest, and I can rest easy. Understand me, I can rest easy, and I'm on my way there. Understand me, greater is later, baby. My greater is later. I got to get my work in right now. I'm creating the life that I want. I'm creating actively, intentionally, on purpose, creating the life that I want for myself, and I can't create that life by sitting and soaking. I can't create that life by being sad and depressed. I can't create that life over here. Understand me, I can't do that just sitting over there making excuses after excuses after excuses. I can't create that life if I'm over there constantly living in my past. I can't create that life if I'm constantly over there reviving and resetting all these different things, trying to make things work that I already know won't work, that have already showed me that won't work. I can't afford to continuously waste my time, waste my energy, waste my effort on anything that's not in alignment with my assignment, that's not in alignment with my greater good. Understand me, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. If you're experiencing me in this season, consider yourself blessed. Oh, come on, somebody. What you say, Coach? If you are experiencing me in this season, consider yourself blessed, because there's going to be a lot of people that want to experience me but will not be able to. I'm walking away from anything and anybody that's not in alignment with my assignment. So if you are here, understand that if you are here, you consider yourself blessed. Hello, somebody. If you are experiencing me in this season, consider yourself blessed. My awareness is that it's all-time high. Understand me. Come on, Dave. Thank you so much, Anissa, for the stars. Double tap on the screen. Yeah, consider yourself blessed, because I'm not hanging out with anybody. I'm not throwing my feet up under anybody's table. I'm not stepping over the threshold of anybody's houses. Understand me. I'm vetting anything and everybody that's around me. I now realize that everybody ain't for me, and I'm not for everybody, and I'm okay with that. What you said one more time for the folks in the balcony that just walked into virtual church. Hello. Yeah, we got to rewind it. We got to rewind it a little bit. If you're experiencing me in this season, consider yourself blessed, because I'm vetting every single connection that I have with whomever. I'm not swinging my feet up under everybody's table. I'm not walking through the threshold of everybody's house. You won't catch me on the phone, on text message, on social media, interacting or engaging with any and everybody. I'm watching everything that I hear, everything that I see, and every conversation that I have. Understand me, because I understand that my eyes, my ears, and my mouth are the canals to my heart. I got to watch what gets inside of my heart. I have to guard and protect my heart for what it is that I'm doing in this season of my life. I'm creating, and I want to make sure that what I'm creating is on a solid foundation. I can't afford no drama. I can't afford no chaos. I can't afford no discord. I can't afford no messiness. Understand me, I'm watching everything that I put in, because I realize whatever it is that I put in is what's going to come out. Come on. I got to watch it. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate them badges that's coming up. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. What you say? I got to watch what I put in, because whatever it is that I put in, it's going to be what's going to be coming out. So if I put in that messy, that's what's going to sprout up out of there. If I continue to plant that drama, that discord, then that's exactly what's going to be coming up out of there. So I have to watch what it is that I put in. This is my season of resistance. Understand me. So I just need for you to know, baby, if you're experiencing me in this season of my life, consider yourself blessed, because there's a lot of people that thought that they was going to make it into this season with me that now they see that they don't. I don't call, I don't text, I don't interact, I don't reach out, I don't check up on any of that. Why? Because I've identified the fact that you are not in alignment with my assignment. Understand me. And I don't have time to waste. What did I tell y'all on Tuesday? I said time is the only currency that we don't know the balance of. We don't know how much time we have left. We don't know how much time that we have left. Time is the only currency that we don't have the currency. We don't know the balance. We don't know what's remaining on that. So every single day that I get up, every single day that I am blessed with the activities of my limbs, being clothed in my right mind, understand me, is a day that I cannot afford to take it for granted. I have to operate as my best self every single day, even when I don't feel like it, even when I'm not in the mood, even when I don't want to. Would you say, Coach, every single day that you wake up, you have to operate as your best self, no matter the situation, no matter what's going on. You owe that to yourself. Do not waste it. Do not take it for granted. You don't know the day or the hour. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. All week long, we've been talking about the season of resistance. Because the more that you grow, the more that you evolve in life, the more that the enemy is going to come and try his very best to throw you off course, to pull you out of alignment. And you have to recognize this. This is something that you have to see, right? Because when they say that, we thought that they was just saying it, but the truth of the matter is, it's very much real. New level, new devil. New level, new devil. Every time that you're growing and you're evolving in life and you're becoming stronger, you have to understand. And how do we know this? Wait a minute. How do we know this? Because you can't just tell us that and not tell us why you say what you say, Coach. Understand me. Every level, there's a new devil. And we know this. Why? Because when Jacob was at the river and he was talking to the angel said he had to call for backup, right? He had to call for backup. Well, you can't have more of one thing without having more of the other. So just like you have good spirits, you also have bad spirits. Understand me. So when you're on one level, you might only need this one over here. And it's just because you're not that strong yet. You don't know that much just yet. But the more that you grow, the more that you evolve in life. If you think that the angels of the Lord are teaming up, what do you think the angels of the adversary, what do you think that they're doing? They are also teaming up. Understand, that's notes for you right there. That's good information to know right there. When they say that new levels, there's new devils, that's on both sides. You cannot have more of one thing without having more of the other. If you have good spirits, you have to also have bad spirits. So if good spirits have to team up to fight bad spirits, that means that there's more bad spirits that are also coming. So new levels, new devils. Come on. Because he said, I had to call for backup. You wouldn't have had to call for backup if it wasn't more than what you could handle. You can't have more of one thing without having more of the other. So as you continue to grow and evolve in life, it is in fact a fact when we say new level, new devil. So if you're growing, if you work through quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? And you've been growing, you've been fasting, you've been praying, you've been meditating, you've been worshiping, you've been studying, and you have basically transformed your whole entire lifestyle. You are a brand new individual. You are something that you didn't even know that you can become right now. If you're becoming new right now, understand this. If you are new, guess what else is new? If you are new and you're operating in your newness, the reason why you're experiencing all of these things over here is because, oh, you're growing, we got to grow too. Oh, you're doing this, oh, we got to step it up too. Understand me. That's why you feel like you're constantly under attack, because the enemy is like, how dare you try to grow? How dare you try to evolve? How dare you try to become something new? The enemy's job is to do what? To stop your transformation. His job is to stop your your transformation, to keep you from becoming your best self, to keep you from operating in your fullest potential, to keep you out of alignment with the Most High God. That's his job. That's what he's created to do. The enemy is created and designed to test you, understand me, to come after you. So the more that you try to transform and become something new, the more that the enemy try to entice you with the old. Come on. What you say? Hey, Heather Smith, how are you? Yeah. I'm waiting on y'all. Double tap on my screen. Go ahead and put that in your notes. What you say, Coach? The more that you work on creating something new, developing something new, the enemy is working twice as hard, trying to entice you with the old. His job is to entice you. His job is to entice you, to tempt you. That's his job. All he can do is entice. All he can do is tempt. That's all the job. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? If you didn't know that, put that in your notes. That's the only job that he has. The job, don't that make some people like, oh, wait a minute. When you think about that, Coach, wait a second. That's a big old gym. That's a big old gym right there. That's not cubic zirconia. That's not lab diamond. You just dropped a whole seed on us just now. Hold on. The enemy only has one power. Where my studiers at, all he can do is tempt. All he can do is entice. Because he can't take your chair, he can't take your will, he can't take your choice. The only way the enemy have power over you is if you are a willing participant. You have to be willing to follow him. You have to be willing to accept whatever it is that he's giving you. If you do not, if you resist the enemy will do what? Put it in my chat, chosen family. I taught that this week. The Bible says if you resist the enemy will do what? If you resist, there you go. I see you, Neil. There you go. I see it. He will flee. That TikTok, y'all don't be playing. Y'all got notes on TikTok. Let's go, be kind. I see you, Lily. Let's go, Kira. That's right. Okay, there we go. There you go. That's right, Felicia. That's right, Rob. Driver. That's right. The enemy will flee. That's right, Tia. Cherie, where y'all at on Facebook? Come on. There you go. I see you, Anissa. There you go, Danielle. There you go, Benny Simpson. That's right. Absolutely right. The enemy does not have the power that we've convinced ourselves that he has. He does not have the power or authority over us. We have the power and the authority over the enemy. Understand me, he only have one thing, and that is the ability to be able to tempt or entice. That's it. In order for the enemy to be able to ruin your life, ruin your relationship, ruin your finance, ruin anything that's connected to you, you have to become a willing participant. Understand me, a willing participant. The enemy has to get you to participate in what it is that he had going on, and then you destroy yourself. The Bible does in fact say what? I taught y'all this on Monday. It does says the enemy comes to steal, to unalive, and to destroy, but that is not the end of it. He's only able to do those three things if you participate in it. He can't destroy you. He has to tempt you into destroying, or tempt you or distract you into destroying yourself. He can't unalive you. He has to trick you into you doing it to yourself by toying with your emotions and making you feel as though you are not who God says that you are. He does these things through dealing with your emotions. This is why Coach has been harping all fourth quarter on being a person that's able to regulate your emotions. This is why it's so important for you to know how to be what? Extremely emotionally intelligent. Know what it is that you feel. Identify why you feel that way, and then create a healthier response for that. Thank you, Michelle, for the stars. I appreciate you. Would you say this is why your emotional intelligence is so important? This is why it's so important for you to be real and to be honest about what you feel when you feel that. Know what you feel and know why you feel that way. Thank you, Miss Pumpkin, for the badge. Double tap on my screen. Let's be real. So what's important? My emotional intelligence. My emotional intelligence is just as important as my mental and my physical and my spiritual. Those four components you all need to be able to live a balanced life. When we were out in Woodruff, Maryland, back in August, back when we did the Get in the Room tour, this is something that I explained to everybody. We normally say 3 things, but it's actually 4, right? We say 3, but it's because you need your emotional intelligence. If you're not emotionally intelligent, if you have your emotions under control, mentally you can be strong, spiritually you can be strong, physically you can be strong, but if you are an emotional wreck, then that will ruin all 3 of the other things. If you don't have that emotional intelligence, no matter how well all the other areas are, you can know the scripture from front to back, you can know the words of prayer, you can know how to fast, you can master all of those things, but if you are a person that is emotionally driven, you are a liability to yourself and everybody that's connected to you. Thank you, Danielle White. It's actually 4 and not 3. Mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. You need balance. You need balance in your life. In order for you to live a life, friends, like this is so good. You need that balance. In order for you to live a full life, you need those 4 things to be working right there together. You need those 4 things to be over there operating as a unit. Because in those things are the things that the enemy is most definitely going to use on a regular basis, right? This is Fiery Friday, and I want you to know that you are more than enough. This is Fiery Friday, and I want you to know that you are more than capable. This is Fiery Friday, right here with Street Point and the Chosen Family, and we come to tell you that this right here, this is going to pass. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever hardship, whatever trial, whatever tribulation, whatever dark hour that you're experiencing right now in your life, we're telling you, do not break down before your breakthrough. Don't get weary right now. Don't go over there and start questioning whether or not you're going to make it or not. We're here to tell you that you will. God is always going to create an escape for you when you are walking in his alignment. God is always going to create an easy way out for you when you are walking in his alignment. That's his word, and his word says, it can't come back to me void. It's going to do exactly what I sent it out to do. So when I say that I'm going to create an escape for you, that's exactly what I'm going to do. We need you to stand on that. Even if your heart is heavy, stand on it. Trust and believe it. You're going to have a beautiful day today. You're going to have a beautiful day today, and you're going to have that day that way because you're going to make it that way. Whatever environment that you're about to walk into, head up, chest out. No matter what it is that you're dealing with, from court to the hospital to family, whatever it is that you're dealing with right now, you are victorious in that situation. You are more than a conqueror in that situation. No sickness, understand me, is going to consume you. No, we're not going to be consumed by the lies, by the deceit of the enemy. We are operating in his alignment. You said you're going to protect me. You're going to provide for me. You're going to heal me. These are the things that you promised. And so now the only thing that we want you to do is operate in your promise. That's it. Thank you, Marquetta. Let's be real. And I want you to tap in on this morning like you've never tapped in before. Understand me. This too shall pass. This is what happens when you're working on yourself. This is what's happening when you're going through that transformation stage of your life. You're going to be tested. You're going to be tried. You're going to be put to the fire every single time. That is just the enemy doing his job. And if you're not experiencing some level of pain, some level of heartache, if things is always going the way that you want it to go, then understand me, you want to check that. You want to check that because this right here, this journey is not for the weak. This is not for the weak at all. Hear me when I tell you that, because this right here, You got to be prepared to bob and weave all throughout it. You got to be prepared for that. And nobody is exempt from it. Nobody is exempt from that. The season of resistance, one of the notes that you guys got this week was we have to resist the spirit of fear. This is Fiery Monday where we recap all of the notes that we gave this week. Put this in the front of your mind for my people that wasn't here this week and you need to recap. Here we go. Resisting the spirit of fear. Fear is false evidence appearing as real. It's not real. It's deception. It's one of the ways that the enemy operates to prevent you from living up to your fullest potential, to stop you in your transition. False evidence appearing as real. Fear will stunt your growth. Fear will stop you right there where you are. It's not real. The other one was the familiar spirit. Whenever you're growing and evolving in life, you have to be prepared for the enemy to do what? Always send that familiar spirit right back to you. Why? Understand? Because it's familiar. And we are human beings and we are always drawn to what is familiar because we find comfort in the familiar. Why do we find comfort in the familiar? Because that's something that we've already done before. We know what that is, right? So in this season of resistance, you have to pay close attention to the familiar spirits. Understand me? You have to pay close attention to the spirit of familiarity. You want to stay away from that because that is nothing but what? The comfort zone. I'm comfortable in that familiar because I know what that is. I know what that does. And our human nature is to be drawn to what we know is familiar. But just because it was familiar doesn't mean that it was working, right? What you say, Coach, just because it's familiar does not mean that it was working. And you have to keep that in the front part of your mind because what we'll do is we'll go to the familiar because that's what we're used to, but we won't think about the pain that we were in when we had that familiar thing. Understand me? Don't get to reminiscing about the good stuff and forget all about the bad stuff. Don't dare you. You can't do that. That's why I say stay away from that. And the other thing was the false sense of responsibility, right? You don't owe nobody nothing. Understand me? In this season, you have to become the most valuable person on your team. You have to be your own MVP. You have to be your own priority, your own assignment. You have to know that people are going to make decisions in their life, and it's not your job to throw on your cape to run over there and be Batman, be Robin, be Superman and Superwoman for everybody. You have to let folk go through their own consequences. Understand me? Because trying to help them can be damaging to you. And why do you say that, Coach? Trying to help them can be damaging to you because the moment that you step out of alignment to go help somebody else, you're leaving all of your stuff uncovered, which means that, hear me when I say this, that's a distraction. That's a distraction. Every time you start working on yourself to go and work on somebody else, that's a distraction. That's the reason why we're not dealing with people that we're unequally yoked with. Understand me? That is the result of dealing with somebody that's unequally yoked. When the Bible says about don't be unequally yoked, this is why. Because when you put yourself in a situation where you're dealing with somebody that's not on your level, that doesn't have that same mindset, that's not operating with that same level of awareness, then you put yourself in a compromising situation. Either you're going to pull them up or they're going to pull you down. And it's almost like you're gambling with your life, your spiritual life, your physical life, your mental life, and your emotional life, because you don't know which way that is going to go. And if you're operating in a way where you don't know which way it's going to go, now you're operating in confusion. So that's the reason why you don't want to deal with somebody that's in their healing stages. I'm gonna drink the water. What'd you say, Coach? They ain't dateable. If they're in the healing stage of their journey, then you are not yet dateable, sweetheart. If you still dealing with stuff from your past relationship, your past familyship, if you still got trust issues and everything else that you're dealing with, baby, you are not yet dateable. The moment that you come up in my life and you still talking about your yesteryears and your yestertears, the moment that you show up in my life and you're responding to everything through your past trauma, that right there is red flag enough for me to get right on up out your face. And I'm talking expeditiously. When you can't stop talking about, hear me, what you've been going through in your past, that is a clear indication that you are still in your past. And what you won't do is make me pay for what somebody else did to you. You won't hurt me because somebody didn't respect you enough not to hurt you. You won't drag me through the mud. Understand? You won't walk me like a dog. You won't treat me like I'm nothing because somebody did not love and respect and value you that way. Oh, baby, yeah, but that hurt people. That don't work over here. That don't work over here. I'm not responsible for your trauma. I'm not responsible for your pain. I'm not responsible for your mommy and your daddy issues. I'm not responsible for your abandonment issues, your trust issues. I'm not responsible for whatever happened before you met me. Not my circus, not my clowns. Understand me, that's not my job to fix. You need to handle your adult business before jumping over into the dating world. Understand me, don't come over here until you get all of that right there together. And the problem is, you guys feel like being a good person means I'm supposed to accept you and your flaws. The devil is a lie. Don't even ask me to accept you flaws and all. If you got flaws and you know you got flaws, why are you in my face? If you got flaws and you know you got flaws, you got stuff that you need to work. I'm talking about relationship flaws, right? Friendship, if you know you got those, why are you in somebody's face when you know you still got stuff in your life that you need to work on? Right? Because now I'm insulted that you even came over here and had the audacity to really say that to me, that you know you got some stuff to work on, that you know you still rough around the edges. Well, you need to go smooth them edges out, baby. Understand me. When you know you got trust issues, you need to go work on that. Are you laying up on a therapist couch yet? Have you got a life coach yet? Have you been to seminars, webinars, empowerment conference? What are you doing to fix your issues? Don't come over here around me. That's not my job. Being nice is not sacrificing who you are. Come on, double tap on the screen. What you say, Coach? Put that in your notes. Somebody needed that this morning. You being a nice person does not mean sacrificing yourself. Being a nice person, being a kind person, being a gentle person does not mean being a doormat. Does not mean being a person that everybody walks all over. That's not what that means. That's what the world's version of it is. Baby, we can't do that. I can't afford to do that. I can't sacrifice me to help you. Thank you, Shay O'Neal. Understand me, I'm not about to play with you. Understand me, I'm not about to play with you, and I'm not about to let you play with me. That's not my job to fix what you got going on in your life. Understand me, in this season, you cannot afford to take on that false sense of responsibility of fixing everybody, making ways for everybody, creating this and creating that for everybody. This right here is a every man for himself. You can't make somebody want something that they already made up their mind that they don't want. And when you're in that position where you're trying to force it on them, you do more damage to yourself. You hurt yourself. You understand me? You walk around and you're mad, sad, and depressed because of the fact that it's not working out the way that you wanted to work out. But these people have already made up their mind that that's not what they want. So they're just using you right now as a void filler, right? That's all you're doing in that life right now. Thank you, Lola, for the stars. They're using you as a void filler because they know, oh yeah, you're going to come and do it. You're going to come and make a way. Don't let your help becomes you being an enabler, because that's what'll happen. Don't allow your help to be you becoming an enabler. You have to know exactly what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And when you're supposed to be doing it at all times, you have to resist that. You have to step back and step away and let everybody do what they need to do in their life. That's it. Transition. Transition is what we're going through. Changing your life from one way to a whole nother way. And in this transitioning stage, I need you to show yourself grace. You're becoming somebody that you've never known. Stop beating yourself up. Stop picking yourself apart. Stop looking for fault all inside of yourself all the time. Understand me. You didn't get into the situation that you're in overnight, and you're not going to get out of it overnight. This is a day-to-day thing. Understand me. You're forever growing, forever evolving in life. You will make some mistakes. Sometimes you will come up short. Sometimes you will not be in the best of the best, and that is okay. That's it. Hit that reset. Get right back up and continue to push yourself forward. If you've never done something before, if you've never been that intentional and that consistent and that obedient in something before, this is brand new to you. Understand? Okay, who's going to be real and say, Coach, you know what? I'm going to have to be honest with you. I never had a morning routine before. I'm going to have to be honest with you. I've never fasted like this before. I've never prayed like this before. I never opened up the Bible like this before. I've never been a part of a real study group where we're ordering books, opening up books and dissecting books. I've never been a person that was jumping on social media to get free life coaching every single morning. I've never dealt with what I'm doing right now, what I'm doing with you. I've never done this before. When I got on social media, I was here for the drama. I was here for the reality updates. Understand me? I was here to see who was sleeping with who was doing this, who was doing that. I was here for the entertainment. Never in a million years would I've ever thought that I would be getting up every morning and getting on social media and looking for an inspirational word, coming on social media, doing meditation and prayer and dissecting scriptures. Never in a million years could you have told me that I would be doing what it is that I'm doing right now. Monday through Friday, I'm having virtual church before I go to work. I'm having virtual church before I go to school. I'm having virtual church before I lay down in bed. Understand, I would have never thought that I was going to be right here. Understand me, this is new to a lot of people. Be patient with you. Be patient with you. You're changing. You're transitioning every single day, and it's okay, right? Come on, let's be real. Be patient with you. The enemy wants to trick you into thinking, oh, you're still missing something. You ain't doing something right. And that's what he's supposed to do. Remember, his job is to deceive you. His job is to finesse you, to bamboozle you, to hoodwink you, to make you think that you are not who God says that you are. So that's the reason why every single day you got to wake up and you got to what? You got to sweat yourself. Tell yourself how beautiful you are. Tell yourself how much you love you, because the enemy is not going to waste any time trying to downplay you, trying to make you think less of yourself, to try to devalue you. The enemy ain't gonna waste no time. So every day that you get up, you have to look yourself square in the face, eyeball to eyeball. Understand me, I love me. I rock with me to the highest level of rocktivity. That's my word, I made that up. Understand me, but that's how hard I rock with me. I don't care if you love me a lot, because I love me. I don't care if you want this or want that or not, because I want it. Understand me, I know who I am, whether I'm connected to anybody or not. I know who I am. I know where I stand. I know that it's a blessing to be in my presence. I know it's a blessing, understand me, for to be connected to me. I know I'm solid. I know that I'm real. I show up on purpose. I love folks on purpose. I'm very intentional about me and everything that comes from me, so you would never be able to play with me. So if we have issue going on, I know it ain't me. Baby, the problem is most definitely you. I know it ain't me. Understand me, because I'm going to check me. I'm going to self-parent me. And if it is an issue within me, I'm the type of individual that will say what? Hey, you know what? I apologize. I probably could have said that a whole lot better. I apologize because, yeah, I probably shouldn't have did this, that, and the third. Understand me. Ain't got no problem with correcting me. Ain't got no problem with checking me. But the difference between me and Moses, I'm going to pray before I say it anyway. I'm going to go for, so I ain't going to be doing too much of that. Because I'm going to watch, and that's what I teach my people. Before you engage in a conversation, before you send a text message, the email, before you reply in any type of way, shape, or form, you do what? You pray first. You pray first. You seek guidance first. For more than one reason. Number one, because you don't want to say the wrong thing. And number two, because God might not want you to say nothing at all. Go ahead and put that in your notes real quick. Baby, you consult God in every single thing. When you put God in front of everything that's connected to your life, everything. Now, I'm talking about everything from your job to your church to your relationships, your friendship, your situationship. When you put God before everything, your friendship, your situationship, when you put God before everything, you start to save yourself a lot of pain. Understand me, the moment that you become a person that puts him before it all, you ain't got to worry about me, baby, because I'm going to pray about it first. And whatever I say is what I'm going to be prepared to stand on. Whatever it is that I say, I'm going to be prepared to stand on. A transition. Transition is the process or period of changing from one state or condition to another. You're becoming something brand new. Be patient. Be patient with yourself. Operate with a level of awareness that you may have never had before. What'd you say, Coach? You have to operate with a level of awareness that you may have never had to use before. And why is that, Coach? Why is that, Coach? Because the enemy's job is to break what keeps you together. That's nose for you right there. The enemy's job is what? Is to break what keeps you together. That's his job. You have to operate with a awareness that you never had before because you're becoming something that you've never been. And the enemy's job is to break what keeps you together. Understand me? His job is to destroy the very thing that holds you in place. So he has to find a way into that. That's why you have to be, like I told y'all yesterday, on your P's and Q's. This is why you have to be focused. This is why, say praise God. Come on, let's be real about it. This is why you have to be super focused. This is why you have to be mindful of even the smallest things. When you start working on your spiritual journey, your healing journey, your self-love journey, understand your emotional journey, you have to become a person that watches every single thing. You don't let nothing slide. No Mississippi slide, no electric slide, no cha-cha slide, no slip and slide. Understand me? You don't let nothing slide. When you start on your spiritual journey, your healing journey, your development, everything about that is extremely personal. I take all of that very seriously. Understand me? I watch jokes. I watch everything that folks say. I hear what you say, and I also hear what you don't say. I watch your body language. I watch your word choice. I watch your eyes and how they move. Understand me? I'm paying attention to it all because I'm not doing this much work on myself in recreating, revamping who I am just to be out here playing with folk. That's not how this here works. Ain't no slipping and sliding across here. Understand me? You will slide on up out that door. When it got something to do with me, you develop a level and passion for who you are that you realize that everybody don't deserve access. That you realize that it's okay for folk to leave you out. That it's okay for them not to call, not to text, not to include you in certain things because that's not your cup of tea anymore. You're growing and you're evolving. And I'm glad you ain't invite me because now I ain't got to turn down the invite. Come on, this is what this is about. The more that you grow, the more that you evolve in life, your taste in every single thing will start to shift. Things that used to impress you won't impress you anymore. Things that you used to want to be a part of, you don't want to be a part of it anymore. Things that you used to be so, oh my God, now you're like, oh, y'all still doing that? Understand me, everything about you is starting to change. That's what transformation is. So don't be shocked. Don't be, oh my God, don't think that you're doing something wrong because all of a sudden you're starting to feel differently about certain things. That right there is supposed to happen, right? This is what happens when you're going through a season of transitioning, right? When you get into that transformation stage. And now what we're in is resisting. Now once you get into that, right, the enemy is going to always try to entice you with things from your past. Understand me? Because those things are familiar to you. He's going to always bring up fear because he knows that fear is one of the biggest ways to be able to stop a person. When you are afraid, you just simply stop because you don't want to get hurt in one way or another. What did we say temptation was on Monday? Temptation is a test of a person's desire to choose good instead of evil. It is the enticement of sin. Understand, the enticement of sin and to follow Satan instead of God. This is what he does. He tries to test you with temptations. He tests you with temptations. You got to be willing to be tested because there's no progression without opposition. There's no progression without opposition. The more that you grow, things are going to be coming left and right. The more that you're growing, you have to be prepared to be tested, because there's no progression without opposition. One of the 5 ways that we talked about this week is Fiery Friday. Y'all know this is the recap of everything that we've been learning all week. So for my people that wasn't here every day this week, this is their way of being able to come in and catch the recap and get all the notes, or majority of the notes that we dropped this past week. Number 1 is a difficult task, right? Number 1 of the ways that the enemy is going to come at you in the season right here of transformation is a difficult new task. A difficult new task is, understand me, when God is telling you to do something that seems impossible. When God is telling you to do something and it seems impossible. Coach, what you saying? When you in that real bad environment and dealing with something that you know is destroying you, and God is telling you, go ahead and leave, and you sitting up there saying, I don't know how I'm gonna leave because I don't have a job, I really don't have the family support, and people looking at you crazy because you're like, but I'm gonna have to figure out a way. So you done found yourself downtown in whatever city that you're in, and you looking for the resources that you need to be able to get up out of there, and everybody else is looking at you and saying, if I was you, I'd just go ahead and stay on right there. I stay right there because, I mean, I know that they do this and do that, but at least they pay the bills, and you're looking at it and saying, but it's destroying my peace, it's destroying my joy, it's ruining my mental health. Understand me, that's what is taken away from me. It's preventing me from being able to live a life where I'm full and I feel free. Understand me, now you're down there. Yeah, a difficult new task. You have to know that sometimes God is going to give you something to do that everybody else not going to be on board with, but they're not on board with it because it ain't got nothing to do with them. Everybody's not going to understand why God is moving the way that he's moving in your life. Everybody, God's vision for your life is not the same for everybody. We all have our own unique assignment. Understand me, and you have to be willing to fulfill your assignment, not somebody else's. And the next one is going to be a major change. When God tells us to go and changes in everything in our life in the process, but he doesn't tell us where. God told Abraham to go, but he did not tell him where. You have to be willing to be extremely sensitive to the directions and instructions of God. You have to be willing to make major changes even when you don't understand everything that God wants you to do, even when he's not giving you detail for detail, because you have to know he's not going to always give you all the details. He wants to know, are you going to be committed? He wants to know, are you going to be obedient? He wants to know, do you really trust the words that you say? I just need to know, do you have a form of godliness but denying the power thereof? Do you really believe in the God that you speak about? She said, girl, you just told my whole life. It's God's plan, baby. He's like, wait a minute. If I tell you to go, will you really go? Or does that just sound good to you? You have to be willing to be obedient. You have to be willing to go even when you don't have all the places put in place just yet. You don't have to have it perfectly. All them ducks don't got to be in a row for God to do what he gonna do in your life. I need for you to understand that. I told my chosen family what? What did I tell you? I said, hand God your little. Hand God your little. When it's a little thing and people little in your stuff, hand it to God. He has the ability to multiply your little. He has the ability to take what is in your hand and make something so big out of it. Understand me. He can create something out of your little. The 2 fish and the 5 loaves of bread. We saw that right there. He said, what you got? They handed them the 2 fish and the 5 loaves of bread. Not only did he feed the multitude, he also did what? What else did he do? He sent them with baskets to put on the boat with them. So not only did he create what you needed, he created more than what you needed. He did the same thing, right? With the staff for Moses. He did the same thing. Understand, with the children of Israel out there in the wilderness, when he rained down the manna to feed them. And when they said, I don't want no more manna, then he sent the quail over there. He made sure that they had water in the desert. These are the things that our God does on a regular basis. So in other words, are you willing to go without all the instructions? When I'm leading you out of Egypt and I'm leading you into the wilderness, you don't know what's going to happen in the wilderness, but you got to be willing to follow. You got to be willing to follow. The delayed promise. That's the next one, delayed promise. Sometimes you're not going to get it right when you wanted it. But you gotta, yeah, sometimes you're not gonna get it right when you want it. And you have to operate with patience. You have to operate with patience, trusting and believing that God is going to do exceedingly and abundantly more than you can ask or think. Thank you, Shay Shay. Thank you, Romeo. But you have to operate with patience, understanding that it's on the way. Understand, it's delayed, not denied. It's on the way, baby. What I need, God knows exactly what I need. He knows exactly what I need to be able to do every single thing that I need to do. And what did his word says? He's not going to withhold any good thing from me. And when I know that I'm walking in his alignment, when I know that I'm following his instructions, when I know that I'm being obedient in every aspect of my life, then guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to worry about what's delayed in my life, because I know that you're not going to withhold anything that's good that is needed in my life. You're not going to withhold that from me. You said that you were going to supply every single one of my needs, and I know the difference in between what I need and what I want. So I'm not operating out of what I want. I'm not waiting on my wants. I just know for a fact that you're going to supply my needs, because that's exactly what you promised. Understand me. And one thing that we can stand on is what? It's your word. He said what? I told y'all the scripture. I said what? The scripture said the grass is going to wither, the flowers is going to fade, but my word is going to be my word, and that's going to stand forever. I'm the same God in the beginning, the middle, and the end. If you're going to stand on anything, stand on my word. Stand on that word. An unsolved problem. That's the next one. You got to be prepared, baby. Get your note pens out. It's going to be some wrongs in your life you're not going to be able to make right. And I know that hurt somebody just now. Yeah. That's the reality of it, baby. It's some wrongs that you won't be able to make right. It's some things in your life that's going to happen that there's not going to be anything that you can say or that you can do that's going to change that thing. It's going to be some things in your life, some things that have happened that you're not going to be able to go back and undo. It's going to be some things that you can apologize so many times. I'm talking about until your tongue hurt, but that person is still going to be stuck in that moment. And what I'm telling you is you have to know that there's going to be some things that's going to be happening in your life that's going to be unexplainable. There's not going to be a way to break that down or to do anything about, and you're going to have to be willing to simply walk away. Once you have come to an understanding about that thing, move on. Because what the enemy would do is trick you and have you spending your whole life looking to explain the unexplainable, looking for you to break it down to make it make sense, already knowing that that person has a deaf ear. Turn to you already. Stop. Move on with life. There's going to be some things in your life, some wrongs that you will never be able to make right, no matter how much you try. You just have to accept this is the new reality of it. And that also goes the other way as well. You have to move on in your life, even if you don't get the apology, even if you don't get them acknowledging what it is that they've done wrong to you in your life. Understand me. She said, this is for me. There's going to be there's some people are never going to apologize to you. Understand me. And some people are never going to acknowledge the fact that they hurt you, that they betrayed you, that what they done to you, it broke something inside of you. They're never going to acknowledge that. And what I'm telling you today is you have to move on with your life without that apology, without that acceptance or acknowledgement. You have to move forward in your life, because truth be told, what is that apology gonna do? Truth be told, what is them acknowledging what it is that they done? What is that gonna do? Let's be real about it. It's not gonna make you unfeel what you already felt. It's not gonna put the tears that you cried, it's not gonna put them back in your head. It's not gonna take back the steps that you paced, the floor. It's not gonna take back the walls that you slid down. It's not going to give you back the sleepless nights. It's not going to restore any of those things. Them apologizing, them acknowledging it is not going to really do anything for you. Understand me. People don't apologize for you. They honestly apologize for themselves. Understand me. They apologize and they want you to accept their apology because they don't want that burden of heaviness knowing that they done something wrong to you. Understand me. When people apologize and they're in your life and it comes with a change of behavior, yes, you appreciate it. Yes, you accept it. Yes, you move on. But you still know that they are capable of doing such a thing because they've already done it. So it doesn't take away anything that you already knew about that individual. You just simply move on with the hopes that they won't take you back through it all over again. That apology, that acknowledgement, all of that is a waste of time. It is a trick of the enemy. Sometimes you have to be willing to move on without it. That's just a fact. You have to be willing to move on without it. Just put it in the chat. Move on without it. Just put move on without it, baby. Move on without it. Understand me. I understand. Might have been violated, might have been hurt, might have been abandoned, might be sitting over there with mommy and daddy issues and not understanding why they did what they did and why they took sister and not me, why they took brother and not me, why they there for them and they ain't there for me, and all of this. Move on without it, baby. Move on without it. You staying caught up in that too long. You staying trapped in that too long, in that cycle for too long, baby. Sometimes you move on without it. Oh, look at IG, y'all ain't waste no time with saying move on without it. It's a lot of folk on IG that's like, baby, I'm moving on. It's a lot of folk on IG that's moving on without it, baby. Y'all ain't waste no time. Normally TikTok be the first to go. Y'all ain't waste no time with that move on without it. I see y'all over there. The other time, baby, move on without it. Move on without it. As we're going into that 2025, as we're stepping into our 2025, we owe it to ourselves to step into it with the new, with the fresh. Understand me? That's what it's all about. Why? Because we're trying to restore. That's our year of restoration. When we get over into 2025, we don't want nothing that's not operating the way that it's supposed to be. We don't want nothing that is rigged together. We don't want nothing that got tape, that got glue put on it, holding it in place. We don't want that. We're taking out anything that's not operating as its best self. If I can't sit on it without giving a disclaimer or a warning that the chair is rocky or raggedy, then baby, that chair is going to the dumpster. Understand me? I don't need nothing broken in my life. I don't need nothing taped together, glued together, tied together, scrapped down together. I don't need that in my life. Do you hear me? I want everything. I want it lined up. Do you hear me? I want it lined up. When you say that I am a chosen people, of a royal priesthood, when you say I am the child of the Most High, then that don't sound like nobody that got stuff tied up, taped up, strapped up. Understand? That don't sound like that. Those two things don't even go together. Them things don't even go together. Understand me? The next thing is prolonged pain. It's that prolonged pain. It's when you've been in a situation for a very long time that the enemy is just weighing you down, and say, well, you know what? If you just give up right now, then, you know what I'm saying? If you give up right now, then guess what I'll do? I'll go ahead and give you this, and I'll go ahead and do that, and all of this. And the enemy tries to say, because you've been in this situation so long, that God have abandoned you, that because you've been suffering and you've been going through this for this amount of time, that God has really turned his back on you, and that the God that you think that you have is not really the God that you really have. She said, don't be reading me. I'm sorry, friend. I got to tell you the truth so that you can grow. You know what I'm saying? I got to tell you the truth so you can make them corrections in your life. This is what the enemy does. He tried to bring you into his alignment, into his fold by prolonged pain. And this is what I told you about Abraham. And that's going to, it's about Moses. I'm sorry. When I told you about Moses, and that's going to be Hebrews 11:24 through 26, when it says that, how long, Lord? Moses didn't choose what he felt was right. God's word tells us about Moses. He thought it was better to suffer for the sake of Christ than for the treasures of Egypt, for he was looking ahead for the great reward. Your greater is going to be later. Understand that over in Hebrews 11:24 and 26, the Bible says Moses endured all kind of suffering, including conflict, criticism, and pain to pursue what God wanted through his life. Understand me? What was that scripture? Hebrews 11:24 through 26. It says Moses endured all kinds of suffering, including conflict, right, criticism, and pain to pursue what what God wanted through his life. He understood that God is working through me. So whatever it is that I gotta go through, whatever the suffering is, whatever the criticism is, whatever the conflict is, then I'm gonna have to go through it, understand me, in order for me to get what God has put in the inside of me. We show up in life and we show up timid. We show up in life and we show up defeated. We show up in life and we show up like cowards. We show up in life whispering and tiptoeing around folk like we don't realize that we house the Most High God. When you're carrying the Spirit of the Most High God inside of your body, I don't understand why you're walking around feeling so defeated or feeling like you less than or inferior to. Why you feel the need to compare when he says greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. You're walking around with greater in you, but living a basic life. Come on, coach, wait a second. Yeah. Okay, well, can we, wait, my friend said, come on, Jesus. You're walking around with greater in you, but you're living a basic life. You're walking around with greater in you, but you're operating with a victimized type of mindset. How are you walking around with a victimized mindset when you're saying that you are in alignment with the Most High God, the person that was the biggest victim of everything? Understand me, who was lied on, who was persecuted, who was put up on the cross, who had the thorns on his head. Understand me, who was beat without cause. How in the world are you walking around talking about you a victim when you are housing come on, let's be real, greater in the inside of you? It just simply does not make sense. You show up, we show up in life, and we're feeling defeated. And how is it that you're feeling defeated when I'm right here with you? You know how and why you experience these things? For the same reason that I told you yesterday. You are in a relationship with God, and you treat your relationship with God with the same respect that these people that you in a relationship with, this is how they treat you, right? They break up with you every week. Every time y'all have a fallout, y'all break up. They tell you to pack up your stuff and to get out their house, get out their apartment, get out their trailer. And you go through that emotional roller coaster. You sad, mad, and depressed. Oh, I done got kicked out again. Oh, we done broke up again. You on emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. Baby, loving you ain't nothing healthy. Understand me? This is what you're going through on a regular basis. This is what you deal with on a regular basis, and you treat God with that same respect or disrespect. You treat God with that same disrespect. You in alignment with him when everything is going right. But then a moment when the enemy comes in and entices you with something from the past, entices you or deceives you with something that's happening in your life, some type of hurt, some type of pain, some type of unexpectancy, then the enemy comes and do that. And what happened? You evict the Most High God. You come in and you say, well, you know what? You got to go. Understand me. You got to go. I know I'm supposed to be operating out of faith, but right now fear got me. I know that you say you a provider, but right now I don't see it, right? So now all of a sudden you keep evicting God. You keep putting him out. He's like, wait a minute, I'm trying to reside. I can't even unpack my bags, because by the time I get on the inside of you, the next thing you know, I'm packing up my toothbrush and my toothpaste. I got my mouthwash. I got to put it right back over in my bag again, because here I am being evicted. Every time the adversary come and put anything in your face, you fold. Every time that you get tempted, you fold. Every time you get tested, you fold. Every time somebody walk out or somebody say something, criticize, or any type of conflict enter your life, then you fold. I'm tired of having to pack up, go, pack up, go, pack up, go. You feel the way that you feel because you keep replacing me with him. You keep evicting him. He says, I'm trying to give you everything. But you stuck on what wants to take everything from you. He says, I'm trying to give you everything.
I came so that you can have life, and not just have life, but have it more abundantly. I'm trying to give you abundance. I'm trying to give you pressed down, shaken together, running over. I'm trying to give you a good life. I'm trying to give you all these things, but you are addicted to, you are attracted to, you are entangled with the things that want everything from you, that you push away the one person that wants to give everything to you. Your mind is so warped that you don't even see the difference. You don't even see where you're self-sabotaging. You don't even see where you're self-destructing. You don't even see where that everything that you're going through is because of your own disobedience. It's because of your own poor decision making. That it's because of you not consulting, not having the awareness that you need, not moving in a way that you know is right. Understand me, you're going through what you're going through because of your participation. What you say, Coach? You're going through what you're going through because of your participation. At any given moment, you can decide that I'm no longer feeding that. In any given moment, you can say that I'm no longer showing up that way. At any given moment, you can make a decision to say that I deserve more, that I deserve better, that this right here is not working for me, that this right here is not in alignment with me. You know that these things are not right. You know how these things make you feel. You know that you are living a life that is not right. You know this already. And when I say not right, you are not satisfied in your life. You are not filled in your life. You are not being reciprocated. You're being more of a giver and a doer and a provider than anybody is giving back or doing and providing for you. It's unbalanced. And you are aware of it. And we know that you're aware of it because you can tell everybody about it. If they ask you about your pain, you can run it down. But then when they ask you about what you're doing about it, you get silent. If they ask you about your pain, you can run it down. But if they ask you, what are you doing about what you know, you get silent. You get silent, you get quiet. What are you going to do about what you know? You get real quiet when people start talking about accountability. They get real quiet when they say, well, if you know that they don't love you, why are you still there? If you know that they can't reciprocate, why are you still there? When you know that they don't respect you, why are you still there? When you know that they can't pick up what it is that you put down, why are you still there? When you know that they're not deserving of you and your love and they don't see, hear, or value you, why are you still there? Then all of a sudden you get quiet, and some of y'all do this right here. Sure. Oh no. Oh no. Baby, your healing journey. Come on, Jamia. Let's be real. I need for you to understand. Chosen family, and y'all, I told y'all this already. Your healing journey, your spiritual journey, your self-love journey, your emotional journey, it requires your participation. You should never have a part of your life where you don't know. When somebody asking you something about your life, baby, you better be able to run it down. When they ask you about the goals that you have set for your life, you should have that right. Oh, baby, I know what I'm about to be doing. I know what I'm headed to. Well, what is it? I want to be a teacher. So what do you? I've already signed up for the classes, waiting on a semester to begin. I want to be a cook, so I'm already going to culinary school. I watch everything that I can find that's in alignment with what it is that I want to do. You have to align your life for the life that you want for your future self. You can't say that you want to do all of these things, but then you are doing nothing to actually align yourself for those things that you say that you want. Baby, that's just talk. That's just chatter. Understand me. You have to be actively working towards the life that you say that you want, and you have to be doing that daily. People talk real good. People talk real good. But every single time that you evict the Most High out of your life, this is a route that you go down. You have to make up your mind whose side you're on. You have to make up your mind where it is that you're actually headed in this life. You have to know what it is that you're about to do. One of the scriptures that we worked through, it was Matthew 4, 1 through 11. It was when Jesus was out in the wilderness. Understand me. And during that time when Jesus was out there in the wilderness and he was dealing with the enemy, we identified what? That the enemy is very slick. He's very crafty. And what it was that he done, he tempted Christ in 3 different ways, right? He tempted Jesus in 3 different ways. One of the first ways that he was tempting Jesus, he told him to turn that stone into bread. He knew in that moment that Jesus was what? He knew that he was hungry. In other words, what I'm telling you, that the enemy is going to identify your weak areas. And when he identifies your weak areas, those are going to be his targets. So if you are going through an area of your life, if you still have something that's broken in the inside of you, the enemy operates just like a wild animal. When you have animals out there, right? They're doing what? They're preying on each other. They don't jump on a lion is not going to jump on a hyena, right? When he's just a lion by himself. We watched this more than one time. But if there's a pile of hyenas there, the lion will not move. Understand me, because he knows that the hyenas are going to consume him because it's just him. He has to wait until the hyena is by himself and vice versa. Understand me, you're not going to be attacked when you're at your highest level because the enemy already knows that when you start going up here, I got to come harder than that. Well, you will be, but they have to come harder. I got to come harder at that. But the enemy looks for weaknesses. He looks for the deficits. He looks for those parts of your life that he knows that you're still struggling at. Understand me, when you are working hard in your development and praying and worshiping and studying, you have that hedge of protection that's all the way around you. And even though he's not knocking, he knows that he can't get in. Understand me, when you are working on yourself on a regular basis at your highest level, understand me, he knows that he has to go and get help. He ain't gonna be able to do it by himself. They got to team up. They got to bring a group. Why? Because you are at your highest level of self. I know what I'm doing. I know how and why I'm doing it. But if he catch you slipping, the Bible says Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness and tempted by the devil after fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. He was hungry. The emphasis is on the hungry. The highlight is on the hungry. So when the tempter came to him, he says, if you are the Son of God, then turn these stones into bread. He used what he knew was Jesus' weakness. He knew that he had a deficit, he had a hunger. So he told him to turn it into bread. He says, man should not live off of bread alone, right? He says, for it is written. So the next time when the enemy decided that he was going to tempt Christ, right? Now he tempted him, right? By testing what God says. Don't be the person to think that the enemy will not try to push you to a place where he makes you question the word of God. Oh, you believe in God so much. If you pray so much, if you fast so much, if you worship so much, then why are you still going through this? And why are you still going through that? If God really loved you like that, then why in the world did this happen to you? And if God really loved you like that, why did this happen to you? You do all that fasting, you do all that praying, and your God ain't did this and your God ain't did that. This is how the enemy operates, right? This is what he does. He puts this inside of your mind to make you question, is God real or not to you? You can see it all over the place. Understand me, this is what he does. Thank you, Felicia, for the cash app. And he says, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, right? Now here comes the adversary saying, for it is written, right? So because he's paying attention, oh, since you want to talk word, let me talk word right there with you. Let me throw that back in your face. Don't be naive. Don't be gullible. Don't be weak-minded. Don't be shallow. Understand me. You hear me when I say this to you? People are watching you. People are watching you, and they're watching what you do. And when you're the type of person that is praying, that is fasting, that quotes scriptures and all of that, do not be upset or do not be shocked or in amazement when people around you start trying to manipulate, understand scriptures to try to control you, to try to throw scriptures in your face to make you feel like you are not who you say that you are. Understand me? Don't get, because that's what the enemy does. They just showed us that right there. That was the second way that the tempter actually tempted Christ, right? He tried to make him question what it was that he already knew about God. People will see you, and as soon as y'all get into an argument, a disagreement, or anything like that, that first thing, oh, well, you swear you saw this, and you swear you saw that, but the Bible say this, and the Bible say that. They'll try to throw it in your face to fit their narrative. They'll try to throw it and twist it and turn it at you to try to make you feel like you're wrong for standing your ground, for establishing boundaries, for telling them no, for not providing what they want you to provide. Thank you, Miss O'Neill, for the stars. Yeah. This is what people do, right? So don't be shaken, don't be shocked, don't be amazed, don't think, oh yeah. Wait a minute, am I really being wrong because they said no? They acting like the enemy, they father. That was messy. they acting like the enemy, they father. That's what people will do. If every time you get in, you having a conversation with somebody, a heated conversation with somebody, back and forth and with somebody, and the first thing that they go to is your spiritual life and try to make you think that your spiritual life is not what it is, that's nothing but them being used by the adversary. Know that. Because if out of all the things that you would have talked about, why are we going there first? Why every time you got something to say is about, oh yeah, well you ain't really that spiritual, you ain't really that locked in with Christ, and you this and you that. Why is that always the thing that you want to attack? Why? Because the enemy wants to trick you into thinking that you are not who God said that you are. You are a mighty warrior. You are more than a conqueror. You are victorious. You are the head and not the tail. Understand me. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to feel that. They don't want you to walk in that. The same way that he tempted Jesus is the same way that we are tempted on a regular basis. Their job is to make you question yourself and your spiritual journey. Their job is to make you think that your prayers are not working, that your studying is not working, that your fasting is not working. That's the enemy's job, to make you think that what you're doing on your journey is not the right thing. That's what his job is. Right? Then he says, Jesus answered him and says, and it's also written, don't put the Lord your God to the test. Right? In other words, like I told y'all yesterday, I feel like he was telling the adversary at that time, like, do you remember what happened the last time you tested God? Isn't that the reason why you crawling on your belly right now? Isn't that the reason why right now the baby bruised the top of your head? Isn't that the reason why you slithering the way that you slithering right now? It is also written, right? That you are not to test the Lord, your God, putting the emphasis on the Y-O-U-R. Is that not what we talked about yesterday? Understand me. How is it that, your God, Satan, he's still your God. Satan, you still have to bow before him. Understand me. You don't have the power that you try to act like you got for you to ask. And then, because he goes on down here, after he asked him to turn the stones into bread and to throw himself from there, then he told him, he says, bow down and worship me. He says, bow down and worship me. And in my mind, right? In my mind, when he says this to him, he says, and again, the devil took him to the high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. And then in verse 9, he says, and all of this I'll give to you if you bow down and worship me. And then verse 10, Jesus said to him, away from me, Satan. For it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. But if y'all was to give me a second, right? For instance, say I'm clapping. Hold on. But if you was to give me a moment, because I want to be outside for just a split second right here, right? Just a split second. I want to say this right here, right? In this moment where he is showing him all the world and the splendor and all of this. And he says, I can imagine where Jesus is at in that moment. If we was to put that in 2024, because now you have already told me to turn stone into bread. And I've already showed you that I'm not going to use any type of special power or any of that to come and do anything just for your entertainment, just for your amusement. And that's what are you saying, Coach? I'm trying to tell you that it's some folks in your life, they look at your life as entertainment. They look at your life like it's amusement. Baby, this is a whole lifestyle. This is not something that I play with. I don't pray just because I want to just be out here praying. I don't fast just because I want to fast. I'm doing this because there's a deeper thing. I want alignment with the Most High God. I want joy. I want peace. I want a full life. I want to feel satisfied in life. This right here is not for your entertainment. I need for you to understand that I don't get up at the time that I get up to get on prayer, to get in devotion, to do the scripture, to do all of these things just for your entertainment, baby. That's not right here. That's not what that is. Then this ain't no magic trick. I'm just putting it in 2025. Baby, I'm not out out here in the wilderness. I'm already hungry. Been fasting 40 days and 40 nights for be out here performing no magical tricks for you turning stones into bread. Baby, I'm not about to play with you. Get out my face. Then he leads him over here and he says, okay, well, throw yourself down, because didn't the word say that you got some angels and all of this? Even at this moment where Jesus knew for a fact, I got angels. He already told us, not only do I have angels, I got fighting angels. I can call legions of angels to come to me to do what I need them to do if I want to. But guess what? I don't think enough of you to even bring out what I can bring out, because what? Everybody don't deserve to know the intimate parts of me. I could call them Satan. I can tell them to come here. But why would I show you what I got? Why would I bring out what I got? I don't see you as a threat. You feel like I don't see. Sometimes y'all be arguing with folk that's not even on your level. Sometimes y'all be going back and forth with people trying to prove things to people that you shouldn't even be trying to prove nothing to. Thank you, Amanda, for the stars. Thank you, Miss Clark, for the stars. Can I talk about it real quick? You over there trying to go back and forth with somebody that don't even know if they coming or going. Understand me. You over there arguing with people that's not even on your level, that can't even comprehend what it is that you even saying to them. Understand me. And some of them understand exactly what it is that you're saying, but have already made up their mind that you are wrong in what it is that you're talking about. Understand me. At this moment, you got me out here in this wilderness, and what you're doing is you want me to put on a show. I'm not about to put on a show for you. I'm not about to get down on your level. I'm not about to exchange that type of energy. I'm not about to go back and forth with you. I'm not about to tit for tat with you. Understand me. Get away from me. Leave me alone with your foolishness. And that's how you have to treat folk. Even though you know you can do it, does not mean that you should do it. Understand that what you do and what you don't do is equally important. Just because I can do it don't mean that I should do it. And I can imagine that by the time he got, I listened to you when you talked about this bread. And I told you for it was written. I went ahead because the Bible says he led him. I let you lead me up here to this highest mountain up here. And you didn't ask me to perform a magic trick, pull out my angels and all of that for the second time. But I can only imagine that Jesus was at his wit's end when he got to the third one, and when he says, bow down and worship me. And I feel like he was at his wit's end with him because of the way that he responded to him in that moment. For everything else, I can see him just casually, cordially, just like, man, go ahead. You already know that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you what it is, but I can tell that he was somewhat frustrated or agitated, and I can imagine why. Because I know ain't no way in the world you think that I'm about to bow my head to you. Ain't no way in the world you think that I'm about to, wait a minute, are you serious? My God, my Father is your God. My Father is your God. My Father runs all of this. You're in the situation that you're in because of my Father. I'm the Son, understand, of the Most High God. And you think that I'm going to bow? Come on, Romeo. Man, you have to make that make sense. Don't that makes you feel insulted. I feel really insulted at this moment. I really feel like you done took this tempting thing. You done took this tempting thing to a whole nother level. Understand me. You done really got, in the old folks' words, besides yourself. You really smelling yourself down here on earth. I understand that you think that you run stuff down here, but you and I really both know who is in control of all. So I can understand his frustration when it got to this part by the way that he responded to him. He says, away from me. Away from me, Satan. At that moment, when you done got in trouble and your mom and them, go sit down. In other words, get away from me. Go sit down. Go upstairs to your room. What that mean? That mean you done did too much. You done crossed too many lines. You done said too much. You done went over. Oh yeah. At this point, go do what you need to do before I do what I need to do. Understand me? Go do what you need to do before I go do what I need to do. So then he says, go away from me. He was at this point of frustration with him. But even throughout of all of his frustration, you have to also know that he didn't combat him with any of his own opinions or his thoughts or his emotions. He always stayed in alignment. He stayed in alignment with that word. You don't fight the enemy with your thoughts, your own personal thoughts, and your opinions. When you're combating with the adversary, you have to use that word. You have to say that, for it is written. Understand, you fight that with that word, no matter what. And if you're inside your word, the way that you're supposed to be inside your word, you're going to know that there's nothing that you're experiencing right now in this life that's not already a perfect example of that situation right there in that word. We have an advantage that those people back then they did not have. We have a blueprint. We have the step-by-step playbook of how all of these things have actually played out. We don't have to walk into these things blindly. Understand, there's absolutely nothing new up under the sun. The same ways that Jesus was tempted is the same way that we are tempted on a regular basis. What are those temptations, coach? Double tap on my screen. Double tap on my screen. Where y'all at? Y'all are at 153. Go ahead and get us up. The goal is 200K on TikTok. Can I get 6 badges IG? Double tap on that screen. There's nothing new up under the sun. There's nothing that you're going through that hasn't already happened. There's no experience that you're experiencing right now in your life. Baby, this ain't nothing new. Come on, this ain't nothing new. Everything that you're dealing with have already been dealt with before, but we don't realize that it's been dealt with before because we're so wrapped up in our emotions, because we're so wrapped up, we're so tied up inside of our emotions that we don't even, understand me, that we don't even think it's word for that. I got some word for that. For every single thing that I got some word for that. There's nothing new up under here. We're going to be tempted the same way that Christ was tempted. Number one, it's going to be the physical temptation. Number one is the physical temptation. Understand, do what feels right. Matthews 4:3-4. The fasting 40 days and 4. He was undeniably hungry. He was undeniably hungry. The physical temptation is when he identifies that area of your life where you're struggling in the physical and he attacks that. It's your physical temptation. Matthew 4:3-4. The physical temptation. Do what feels right. What did I tell you? In order for you to be successful, you need all 4. Mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional balance. Mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional balance. You need all 4 of those things, and you need them to all be balanced because the enemy does his best work through your emotions, through what you feel. But just because you feel like it's right does not mean that it is right. Do not be deceived by what you feel. Because I'm going to say this because it's on the tip of my tongue to say. Because you can love somebody, and just because you love them, does not mean that they are good for you. And we have all experienced that. Just because that love is a feeling, just because you feel it, doesn't mean that it is right. And my example to you is because we've loved people. But just because we love them, doesn't mean that they was right for us. And they showed us in more ways than we can actually count. Okay? Let's just be real. Hey, get out of your feelings. This ain't about what you feel. This is about what is right, what is real, what is the reality of it. period. The second one is going to be an emotional temptation. Emotional temptation. Talking about the ways that the adversary tempts you. And that's when he creates that question mark. When he have you question God's love for you. That's the emotional temptation. Is when he's making you question whether or not God's love for you is real or not. And that's going to be displayed in Matthews 4, 5 through 7. That's your emotional temptation. When he gets you wrapped up in it. Physical temptation is when he see your finances, he see your broken heart, he see that you're down bad, that you're sick. That's your physical. Your emotional is when he makes you start doubting, questioning everything. Is this real or not? Is this going to work or not? I don't know if I can really believe this or not. And that example is going to be Matthew 4, 5 through 7. Y'all got it? Number 3, control temptation. Your control temptation. Control. Everybody wants to be the person of power, the person in leadership, the person that's in control of everything. The enemy wants, the enemy will use that like, oh, don't you want to be the CEO? If you become the CEO, then that means that you're going to be able to tell everybody what to do. And if I was you, I'll be able to, I'll go over there and I'll do it. But then you get to become the CEO and then you realize that job is not as easy as you thought that it was going to be. Now you stressed out. Now you don't know if you coming or going. Now even though, now you're not happy at all. You don't have time to do this, that, and the third. And it's like, but you wanted that. Being a person of in control, a person in leadership, being a person that is over, that's not as easy as everybody trying to make it to be. Understand me. This is what he does right here. Try to put you in a place of power because he feels like if you're in power, then you are the big thing. So this is what he used, the control temptation to take over the throne, right? Or take over the throne. Like same thing same way he tricked Eve over there. He don't want you to eat off of this tree because you won't become like him. You're going to know all the things that he know. Understand me, that you're going to be this individual. That right there is the control temptation. And that's been one of his things that he's been doing since the very beginning of time. And that example is going to go from Matthew 4, 8 through 10. It shows the control temptation. He uses these same three. These same three ways. These same three ways. But every single time that he comes, you have to be prepared to resist. Every single time that he comes, you have to be prepared to go word for word with nothing but scripture. But if you're not in that book, then you're not going to have any scripture. You're not going to have any ammo. You're not going to have any way to fight back. This is why it's so important for you to make sure that you're studying on a regular basis. This is why it's so important that you have to know, like really, really know who is your God, who's your daddy. Understand me? Because God is like, listen, I gave y'all what I didn't give everybody else. I gave y'all what I didn't give everybody else. You got a blueprint. You got a play-by-play. This is all that you have to do. But whether or not you utilize those things that I gave you, that's going to be all up to you. Because one thing that I'm not going to do is I'm not going to break your will. This is a free will type of thing. I'm not going to break your will. Understand me. It's your job to stay in alignment with me. It's your job to follow me. It's your job to study me and study my ways. Understand me, that's your job to do. But if you don't do your job, then it's not my fault that you are struggling. If you don't apply your information, it's not my job that you don't pass the test. It's not my responsibility, understand me, that you're not doing what you're doing. You can't bring that back to me. Your irresponsibility is not my responsibility. A lot of folk is mad at God for not doing what they should have been doing. You supposed to did the work. You were supposed to show up. You were supposed to get in alignment, but you did not do your part. So when it came up short, it ain't have nothing to do with my grace not being sufficient, with my mercy not being there. mistakes. I got my part, but I gotta wait on you to do yours. And you was distracted over there with man. You was distracted over there with your personal preference. You was distracted over there doing what you wanted to do, how you wanted to do it, living by your own will, fulfilling your own desires, falling into your own enticements, personal desires. That was you. That ain't had nothing to do with me. I had everything that you needed all over here mapped out. Remember when I said I was going to go before you? I went before you. When I went before you, that meant, well, hold on a second. Let me just go see. Some of y'all be trying to act like y'all don't know. This was our work assignment for Monday. Let me show, because some of y'all be acting like y'all don't know. So let's go here with it, right? Let's go. We're going to go here. We're going to go up here with it because some of y'all be trying to act like y'all don't know, right? This is you, and this is Christ. Right? This you. This is Christ. He says, I'm going to go before you. It's like I went before you. And when I went before you, it was a straight path. I made sure that all this was straight. All you had to do was come. That's all you had to do. But what happened was, when I was over there making your crooked path straight, when I was over there making sure that you had everything that you needed, when I was over here making sure I had your pleather, your abundance, I had everything that you needed, it was all over here. All of this is sitting over here waiting on you. I had all your stuff, everything that I promised you, I got all your stuff over here, and I went before you. You had one job and one job only. Your job was to follow me. That's what your job was. I was going here. You were supposed to come here. But what you decided to do, right? This is what you decided to do, because I went ahead of you and I left you with a what? I went ahead of you and I left you with a divine right of choice. I went ahead of you as promised, as stated. You already knew I was going ahead because I wanted to protect you from any oncome danger. If anything was going to happen, I was going to be the one that was going to know it first. If any mishaps, any unexpected anything happened, I went before you so that I could provide the protection that I promised you. So I'm doing my part. I went ahead of you. You got one job, and your job is to follow. How in the world do you keep messing up when you ain't got number one job, and that is to follow? Come on, I'm going ahead. We struggle so hard with following. You struggle. What, coach? Biggest downfall. Following. Because you want that third temptation control. You want to lead. But he says if you lead out of your second one, emotions. You lead out of your emotions. I'm leading out of wisdom. I'm leading you out of insight. I'm leading you out of already having an overall view of everything that's happening in your life. I'm aware of everything. I see everything. Understand me. I got this in a bag. All I need you to do is simply follow. If you follow my lead, then I'm going to lead you down the straight and the narrow. If you follow my lead, understand that you're going to have abundance in your life. You're going to eat the best of this land. You're going to always have. If you follow me, I got you and I got you covered. But your fleshly desires, understand me, your need for control, your emotional state, your physical state, understand me, you have got to put all of those things in my hand if you want me to give you what it is that you say that you want. You suck over here, understand, at following. You got one job, and that's to follow. If you follow me, I'm going to take you here where I have everything that you've been wanting. I got it over here. But what do? Instead of us following, we go down here. What you doing down here? What you doing down here? What is you doing down here? What you doing down here? Have you ever looked at yourself and said, what am I doing down here? Have you ever found yourself somewhere in life and you don't even know how you got there? How did you get here? How did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Baby, you wasn't even supposed to be there. Why are you there? Understand me. That's not in alignment. That's not where I told you to go. You are acting out of yourself. You are fulfilling your own foolish desires, selfish desires. You being enticed by something else. You somewhere that you ain't got no business being. I did not tell you to go over there. How and why are you there? Understand me. And then you get over here. And when you get over here and this don't do what it's supposed to do, you mad at me, but I'm in alignment. I'm up here where you supposed to be at. How you mad at me for you not being where you supposed to be? Then you get over here. And when you get here, you know what happened when you get here, right? You get here, you get sad, you get mad, you get depressed, you get stressed out. So you sit and you soaking. You sit and you soaking. So you turn. This is where you was. That's one. And then you turn that into two. That's how long you just sitting and soaking. When all you have to do is come here. All you have to do is come back up. But whenever we hit right here, we get so mad, so sad, so depressed, so stressed out that what we do, we start sitting and soaking in that situation. We get so mad, so sad, so depressed, so stressed out, wrapped up in our feelings and everything else that we start sitting and soaking in whatever it is that's happening in our life instead of just simply getting back in alignment. He's saying, why are you down here? I never told you to go here. This was not even a route that I gave you. You had one job. You had one job and one job only. Your job was to follow my lead. Your job was to be in alignment with me. And if you was in alignment with me, if you was doing what you were supposed to be doing, then guess what? This right here, this would have never happened. You started here and I was right here. When you got right here, there we go. Hand in hand, baby. We right here all together. So when I got here, you would have been here. This is us, this is us, this is us. And when we get over here, this is you. Getting your stuff. That's you. The whole entire way, it was supposed to be us. I'm leading, you following. You got one job. You got one job. And your job is to follow my lead. We suffer not because God is not good. We suffer because of our own disobedience. We suffer because of our inability to follow simple instructions. Because one, sometimes we say, it's dusty in here, I've been cleaning up. For one, because it's not in alignment with what we feel, right? We fail at following instructions when it's not what we feel. We fail at following instructions when it doesn't look like what we want it to look like. We fail at following instructions if we feel like we're not going to be in control. We fail at following instructions when we see the work that is going to be required to fulfill that position. Those are ways that we're constantly falling behind in what it is that we're supposed to be doing. Understand that in the season that we're in, the season of resistance, if you're going to follow, you have to be all the way in. You have to be willing to commit. You have to be willing to follow it all the way through. And know that sometimes you're not going to like it. And know that sometimes it's not going to be comfortable. And know that sometimes you're going to get frustrated. You're going to get agitated. You're going to get annoyed. It's going to be sometimes in your life where you're going to even feel like this is not fair. It's going to be sometimes in your life and you're going to say, you know what? I don't deserve this. And out of all the people, why me? Out of all the people, why is it that I'm having to go through what I'm going through right now when I'm doing all this work on myself? And look at them. They don't fast. They don't pray. They don't worship. They don't even have a relationship with you. And they over there living their very best life. So it seems. They over there doing this and they over doing that. So it seems. Understand, everybody's life looks better than your life when you don't know the inside of their life. A lot of people are only going to show you what it is that they want you to see. You will never know the secrets behind that. You will never know what they're really going through behind that until it hits the fan. And then you'll say, what? I never saw that coming. I thought they were so happy. Ain't no way in the world. They always had a smile. I never thought this and I never had thought that. Don't be misled by what you see on the outer. Understand, people mask very well. People pretend very well. And just because you might see somebody and they driving a certain thing, living a certain way, boasting about what they got in the bank and all of that, some of those are the most broken people. Some of those are the most unhappy people. Some of those are the most unfulfilled people. Understand me, what you're working towards in life is having a full life, a life that is perfectly balanced. Understand me, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. When you have those things all working together, then everything else onto that is add-ons. All of those things are add-ons. They don't make or break you. I'm happy with and I'm happy without. I'm in alignment when I got it. I'm in alignment when I don't have it. Because I know that as long as I remain in alignment, if I do not have it, then I can always get that. I can get that back. Anything that happens, I know I can bounce back from that. I know I can come back from that. And you continue to push forward in your life. This is how this thing works. Understand me. You have to hear me all the way out with it. You cannot, it's not going to be an easy route. This is not for the weak. Not at all. It said in there, it said what? Moses endured all types of things he went through. But there's also a part, I think it was in James that we talked about one week, when he says, consider it pure joy when you're going through trials of many kind, because those trials that you're going through, it's a test of your faith. It's increasing your endurance as you're traveling through this journey of life. Understand me, it's just increasing your faith. Every time that you go through something and you get through that thing, it's a learning experience for you. It's a learning experience. You got to stay focused. You got to stay locked in. You got to stay committed. Resist the devil and he will flee. Not one time in those 3 temptations did we see Jesus arguing with the enemy. We didn't see him acting a fool. It didn't say nothing about they was tussling. It didn't say nothing about, no. So what am I telling you? Don't do it. Resist. The enemy will not succeed without your participation. If you don't participate in what he's bringing to your life, then he will not be successful in what it is that he sought out to do. The enemy does not have the victory. The enemy does not have that power. Understand me, the only way that he wins is if you participate in what he's bringing to your life. Resist the enemy and he will flee from you. And that's not just us talking about the enemy, just the devil. I'm saying people in general, all the way around you, on your job, at your church, in your family. When you stop entertaining the clown, they'll stop performing. They'll find another city, another circus that they need to go to. Understand me, when you don't give it your attention, when you don't feed into it, when you don't back and forth with it, they look crazy arguing and going going back and forth with themselves. Everything don't deserve your attention. And when we start entertaining things that are not in alignment with our assignment, then we start becoming a disservice to ourselves. We're dishonoring ourselves because now we're leaving all of the stuff that we're supposed to be working on. We've left all of that uncovered. Understand me? You've opened up your front door, and you allow the enemy to have access to come in and pick up all of your stuff, all of your valuables, all of your things that are of good value. Oh, they walking out the door with your stuff and you are unaware. You are unaware. Guard your focus. You're going to need it. The more that we grow, the more that we evolve. Understand, this was a great week of teaching. I promise you, this was a great week of teaching. I absolutely love teaching this season of resistance, man. From Monday till today has been nothing but absolutely amazing. I have had me a time with this one. I loved it, just going back and reading over, talking about, yes, indeed. It's been really real, man. I'm telling you, I've loved this one. I love when every morning, but this morning was this week was just something that was really, really amazing. I'm glad you guys had the opportunity. And if you notice, I've been saving this week's lives on my Instagram. And normally I've been deleting them, but I've been keeping them on my Instagram because this week's live was just it was one of those things that I need everybody to tap into. Just spectacular. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I need everybody to tap into. I need you to know that this is how the enemy operates. I don't want you to walk around ignorant and not knowing how he's going to come, right? So that you can know exactly how to guard, how to protect yourself against that. This right here, we got a couple of more weeks inside of this quarter. And I want all of us to walk out stronger than ever before, right? If you have not subscribed to my Patreon, do me a favor real quick, especially on TikTok, all of my TikTok subscribers and followers on TikTok, I need you guys to make sure y'all are following my Instagram and Facebook and Patreon, right? Instagram is streetpoet_25, which is the same thing as it is on TikTok, streetpoet_1125. My Facebook is Leroy S. Hall. Leroy, Laroy, the letter S, Hall, Hall. Go and follow my Facebook page. Go follow my TikTok, my IG page. Y'all go over there and follow that page. I don't know what's going to happen, so I just kind of want to set it up to where we don't lose anybody. The teaching that we're going to have in 2025, I want to make sure you guys are all the way on board with, locked in with us over there with that as well. My Patreon, the link is inside my bio on all 3 platforms right now. Linktree Street. Stroll down to where it says Mental Health Support Group. Select that $10 tier. Become a part of the Chosen Family. And when you become a part of the Chosen Family, this is what happens. We have prayer every Tuesday, Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have, that's Tuesday and Thursday. Thursday night, we have a mental health support group / study group where we dissect self-help books and scriptures right there together. So it's a learning environment, but we also deal with mental health as well. So anybody that has anything that's going on and you want to, bring it to the group, this is what we discuss, right? It's a support group. This is what we do. So if you're on your spiritual journey, your healing journey, right? And you I just need that environment. I want to be surrounded by like-minded people. Then do me a favor. Click that link that's in my bio. Scroll down to where it says Mental Health Support Group. Get signed up expeditiously. Your homework assignment, yes, that's right. Because if you want to grow, you got to do the work. So I provide you guys with a mental health homework assignment. It's at the beginning of every month on the 1st. It's dropped inside the Patreon. You work it through that month, and every single quarter, right? Jeffers, appreciate the cash app. I need for you to know that at the end of every quarter, every 3 months, you have a reflection report. Your reflection report is going to tell me that you see your growth and development and things that you've noticed about yourself throughout that year, right? So you have a homework assignment that drops the 1st of the month and things that are due at the end of each quarter. We meet 3 times a week, and you get in all of this, right? For $2.50 a week. It's $10 a month. One-on-one coming back and forth on screen. So if you have questions and comments and stuff that you want to talk about, come on screen so that you will be able to do so, right? We have a 24-hour group chat, so it doesn't matter where you live in this world. Everybody is all in different time zones. So if you need somebody to pray with you, somebody to talk to you in any type of way, boom, there you go right there. All you gotta do is sign up for the group. Somebody gonna get back with you. So it's all up to you. And again, it's only $10. If you cannot afford life coaching right now, you like the best thing that I can do right now is get inside of her Patreon, where I'm able to ask the questions. I may not be able to go into deep detail about a lot of stuff until I get to that, but until then, I'm going to sign up for this group so that I can be a part of this group and get around some like-minded people. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I probably got one of the best Patreons out. I can say that my Patreon is one of the best out, right? This is what we do. I absolutely love you guys. So if you guys have not subscribed, make sure you go and do so. TikTok subscribers, go to IG, streetpoet_1125, and Facebook, LeroySHall.com. I'm talking about, that is not right. That's my website, right? Leroy S. Hall on Facebook, talking about .com. Leroy S. Hall on Facebook. I absolutely love you guys, man. But if I blessed your soul this morning, if I lifted your spirit, if I motivated you in any type of way, shape, or form, double tap on that screen, send me some love. Big ups to y'all, TikTok. TikTok, y'all at 221K right now. Y'all have already surpassed y'all goal. Big up to IG. IG, man, y'all at 2,211 stars. Y'all are 2,211 stars over y'all goal. Appreciate y'all this morning. Thank you, Romeo, over here on IG. IG, can I get 2 badges? 2 badges, and we're going to be at our goal over on IG. Every single day that you wake up and you put 10 toes to the ground, I want you to sweat yourself. Tell yourself how beautiful you are and how much you love you, because there's no love like self-love, and you first have got to love yourself way before you're able to love anybody else. This week have been absolutely amazing. I have loved teaching this series. I'm going to tell y'all, this is more for the books right here, y'all. The season of resistance. I think it's just the notes in that, right? It's just the notes that was put into that from Monday until today, like just dissecting all of that the way that we did. This was a powerful series right here, and it was one of those things that was much needed. I think that's what it really was. It was just like, yo, that's what I needed. I'm going through this right here. That's what I needed. It was one of those things. So I absolutely love you. Thank you, Kira. I absolutely love you guys, and I want you guys to have an amazing day. But y'all know I'm about to do what? I'm about to head to that gym, because I'm definitely still on my journey. I'm on my journey right now, man. I'm really locked into this thing, man, and I'm doing my best. Yep, that's my Facebook. Just that I'm working really hard to reach this goal. So I'm about to head over there and do that. But I just want to tell y'all that I love y'all, and that Coach believe in you. If nobody else believes in you, know that I believe in you. I believe that you have the capability. Hey, Crystal D, that you have the capability, that you have it in you. I love really good morning to you, to do exactly what you need to do. And Nephew Marley's words, we can do anything that we want to do. You can do it, but you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to make the sacrifices. You have to be willing to be obedient. You have to be willing. Your life, your growth, your development is going to require your full participation. How bad do you want this thing? Your 2025 does not have to look like your 2024. Your life from this point on doesn't have to look like the life that you lived before. You owe it to yourself to create and to become. This is something that we owe to ourselves. Take full advantage of it. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Y'all be good.